I am a huge fan of Paula Pascual, although I cannot pronounce her first name as she does, sorry, since I saw her demo in person at Creativation several times for Tonic Studios and also on Hochanda and Create and Craft. I was so excited to see that she has come out with her own collection of dies called Bright Rosa, which are perfect for clean and simple paper crafting as well as for home decor pieces and art journaling. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik, and when I saw the new Bright Rosa dies, I wanted them all. But I had to settle for three favorites to try first because I am on a crafty budget. I did bundle the butterflies border and dies and the butterfly band dies, and when you bundle those, and you'll see I have a link in the description box, that does save a little money. So I was able to get all three of these dies for about $20 in American dollars, and that's really not bad at all for dies of these size. So you can see in the butterfly border, and I'll show you cards with them, you get the large border die with dies that you can either cut them out on the right or the left or both, and then all these individual butterflies as well. And I can never have too many butterfly dies. I just can't. I also got the butterfly band die set, and I'm going to show you how Paula has shared how to make pop-ups with these, and again you get all these pieces. And then my favorite, I think, of all the dies, and the one I knew I absolutely had to get, was this fern border set. It has a large beautiful fern, again with the option of cutting out on the right or the left, as well as a smaller fern with a background. So those are just gorgeous dies that you're going to want to add to your collection. And just look at the gorgeous cards you can make with them. So this is the butterfly border, of course, and I have cut it out with the right side so you can see the background, and a couple vellums and vellum ones with some gems. And then on the inside I have a happy birthday sentiment with another butterfly. Now all the details on these cards will be on my blog, and I'll have links in the description. This is the first one I made, and I just wanted to try it and see how it worked. And it was so easy. I mean, I just cut the border, put a white butterfly on top, added a couple pink and some gems, as I almost always do. Those are my favorite gems from Gina Marie Designs, and in this case I didn't have any pink ones, so I used my Copic and colored those, there's a pretty layered butterfly on the inside of that one. This is my favorite, I really think, of all the dies, although I love the butterflies too. It's the fern border die set, and just look how gorgeous that is to have that cut out side piece there, and then to lay that fern there. And then this is the smaller of the ferns, and then a thinking of you on some two-sided pattern paper. I made it into a sympathy card and added some more of the ferns from that die set. So so simple to do and so gorgeous. Now this is the border, I'm sorry, the band butterfly, and I've done it for the front of the card with a hello, and then look how that pops up on the inside, using that very clever band so easily to make a beautiful butterfly pop-up on the inside of that card. And this is another one I did with just some pretty pattern paper and a simple pop-up butterfly with that band. Now you probably noticed that all of those cards were 5 by 7 or square 6 by 6. So I'm going to do some comparisons here. And maybe you're like me and many American card makers and make almost exclusively cards that fit into an A2 envelope, which is 5.5 by 4.25. Many dies from the UK or Europe are just too big to make A2 cards with. But in this video, I'm going to show how easy it is to make gorgeous cards with these dies that are A2 sized. Of course, each set has smaller butterflies or ferns, but I really wanted the beauty and the impact of that, of the border dies, and to see and to show how easy it is to cut those down to make beautiful cards. So this is the A2 butterfly border, and you can see it's substantially smaller than this. This is the 5x7, but this is an A2 card, and all I really did was I looked at it and I said, well, I can cut those top two ones off and still put that border on there. And for this card I decided to cut both sides out. Now you can see that that border die has an option of cutting on this side or both, and I cut on both and put that pretty black behind there, added some more gems, another layered butterfly on the inside with a celebrate. So take a larger idea and cut it down to A2, very easy to do. With my favorite fern, I did the same thing. In this case, it's like I said, it's an A2 card, so substantially smaller, 5.5 by 4.25 folded, and I used the blue tonic mirror card on this one, and on the inside I put another of the smaller ferns there. So basically all you need to do is look at the die cut and say, well, I want it to be small enough for an A2 card, but I still want that border to cut out. So I started the border die here, and then I cut off this, and this leaf, and it was as simple as that. So again, you know, look at your dies with you know, and come up with different ways to use them so your crafting dollar stretches more. I'm not going to cut this one down because I think I'm going to make some kind of 3D mixed media type thing with that, but that is the fern one cut down. And then again, this is that beautiful butterfly, but you have to have a very large card to make the pop-out element. But I decided to make an A2 card with it, and I used that lovely, huge, big butterfly on the front with no problem whatsoever. And then on the inside I have Let Your Dreams Soar. So that's the card that I'm going to make with you today. Now I made a couple changes. When I made this one, it was my first one, and I folded that band underneath. And one thing that's really rather ingenious about this is that we can decide exactly where we want that score to be, depending on if you're using it for a pop-up or if you're putting it on a large card, you know, and putting it behind there. You can make it fold at a different place. But I decided on this one, when I did it, it kind of stuck out a little bit, so I think I'm just going to cut it off at the end of the A2 card. And I have put the Soar on already. You don't need to watch me die cutting and gluing. This is from the Suzanne Cannon for Quietfire Designs. I love that sentiment and actually asked her for that, and she made one. And then on the inside too we have Let Your Dreams Soar, which is an Impression Obsession die, and then a couple punched butterflies from with an EK Success. I just wanted real small ones for that. I did want to mention that the pretty pattern paper that I was using on all of these is from the Park Lane line at Joann's. So it's cardstock that's 110 pound and has really pretty patterns. So I have cut the band out of white and the first layer out of black, and I am going to attach that and then trim. I probably don't need it on there too much, huh? And again, instead of folding it behind, I decided to just trim it so that it's still a band, but it's not going to go behind the front or a top layer on this one. but you still have the band effect. Now this is the pattern paper butterfly, and so you can see there's many options. You can choose to make a plain back butterfly, or obviously the cutout butterfly. Very imaginative use of those. And when I do my butterflies, I like to have the body down and the wings up a little bit, and you can just fold them that way, but they'll never stay that way in the envelope. So what I like to use is Motion Crafts thin adhesive strips, and that pops it up just a really nice way, and they're nice and thin, but even I cut them in half down here for the ones on the bottom so they don't show. So we're going to use a couple of glue dots in the center. Come on. Stick. There we go. And then, whoops, remove these covers of the adhesive strips. Sometimes the hardest thing to do. And mess. And then we're going to put the center down flat, and then these stay up with those strips. Now I think I always have to add gems to butterflies. I don't know why, but I just do. And in this case, I decided to use some pearls and some gems. And we're going to use this size for the head area. And then I like this kind because it's already on a strip and it's already exactly spaced for you. So I have and then these are my favorite gems from Gina Marie Designs, because they are all sparkly, as you can see, and then they have 3 different sizes, so that's just perfect for any card, depending on where you're putting it. And it just seemed like those spaces there just needed something to, I don't know, brighten it up a little bit, or add a little bit of interest. So I'm adding a bigger one on both sides, and then a couple small ones. So our Soar card, our butterfly soaring card, is done. We have several layers there in that beautiful big butterfly, but it is an A2 card that will fit into an A2 sized envelope with some beautiful gems and pearls. And then on the inside, let your dreams soar with a couple small butterflies and some more pretty gems. It is so easy and so pretty to make either the larger cards or the A2 size cards with these gorgeous dies from the Bright Rosa Collection. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and for helping me share the joy of creativity.